In today's video, I'm going to share the biggest lead generation glitch that you have ever seen in your entire life. I'm going to show you the number one thing that helps me generate my revenue from outbound, okay, and also for our clients, okay. So I talk a lot about content assets, I talk a lot about paid advertisement. This little thing right here that I'm going to explain, right, is basically what helps me generate multiple six figures, right, what helped me generate multiple six figures for my online fitness coaching business, what helped one of our clients generate $24,000 in less than 8 weeks of working with us, another client $8,000 in less than 4 weeks of working with us, but it helps a lot of our other clients crack multiple 10,000, multiple five figures every single month, and what helped me get to $42,000 every single month as an online fitness coach, okay? And quite literally, this is the secret, okay? So there's no magic pill in business, but this little thing right here is quite literally a magic pill, okay? Because in lead generation, there are a couple of important things, right? You need to do, let's say if you are doing outbound, right? This is specific about outbound, okay? Whether if you're doing it with a setter or you're doing it on your own, which you should do it with a setter. In our program, we implement the best setters, okay? But who are in depth trained on this process. But even if you're doing it for yourself, right? What are the important things? You need to send a number of outreaches, which should be high volume to the qualified audience, right? You should know who you're sending messages to. You need to get a response rate. Frankly speaking, a 15 to 30% response rate, right, is ideal. Even with a 10% response rate, you can crack even $100,000, right, depending how many outreaches you are sending and to whom. But that's usually the range. And then booking calls from them, right? Now, what I'm going to show you right here is basically also perfect for closing people in the DMs, because I have been doing that, okay? But it's even most important in terms of booking 3 to 5 appointments every single day. Okay, so quite literally, follow-ups is the real juice, because it's extremely easy to send messages. Follow-up is where people usually bleed out, right? And there is a couple of reasons to that. First of all, if you have limiting beliefs about doing outbound and outreach, you're not doing it right. Okay, you're just simply not doing it right. You're not reaching out to people if you're an online fitness coach, which should be if you watch this video. You're not doing it in a socially calibrated way. Okay, I did a lot of videos about DM frameworks, about our specific DM framework. I can even send it over to you. It's the most socially calibrated, well converting DM framework that is on the market right now. This is why clients are getting the best results on the entire market. I can confidently say that because this is the truth, right? Unfortunately, too many business coaches just don't know what the hell they're talking about because they never built a real business themselves. Okay, but follow-up is something that you probably do have limiting beliefs about specifically, and also just outbound and manual outreach. Like you feel that you're harassing people. If you're following up, you're harassing people. If you do follow-ups well, right, the right people are going to book a call with you and buy, and the wrong people are just simply not going to respond, and the right people are going to be thankful that you were persistent. I literally had people who jumped on a call and they literally bought because of my persistence. Now, the right follow-up system is not a follow-up system where you're just harassing people. The right follow-up system is something where you offer value for free, consistently. You always come value up front, right? You follow up enough times with someone, and then they are going to jump on a call and buy, right? So follow-ups are the absolute best way of pre-selling people. If you do following up right, people won't even need to jump on a call with you and buy, or people will jump on the call ready to buy with their credit cards ready, right? Obviously, for this, you need the right pre-selling content assets, set up the right offer, the right product. Okay, we obviously do that for you in our program. But from there, all you need to do is pre-sell people on the product. And following up is the absolute best way of pre-selling people, right? Because if you're just posting content and you're not leveraging it in your DM conversation, which your setter, if you have a setter, should do, we train feed growth specialists very efficiently on how to pre-sell people in the DMs and leverage content assets, right? If you're just doing that, nothing's gonna happen. Like, you're waiting for people to see your content, okay? That's not why that content should be up there, okay? Your content should be distributed in the DM conversation, okay? You don't let people go. You do it in a friendly way, right? And you offer as much value as possible in the DM conversation with your content assets, and then people are going to jump on calls and buy from you, okay? So this is the number one reason why you should follow up, and this is the way how to do that, okay? So just as a starter, by the way, I will also be able to send you this entire follow-up sheet that you can basically copy paste the entire system for amping up your closing rate, quite literally just from following up. It's not even just for the cause, literally amping up your closing rate and closing way too many people. So if you had people ghost you in the DMs, if you had people jumping on calls but then flaking, right, or booking calls but then flaking, if you had people just simply not closing on sales calls, for all of those cases, if you run them through in this entire process, eventually they are going to buy, right? A huge percent of them. Okay, so if you have a problem with these things, just send me a message on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, check out our client results, send me a message on Instagram. This is the exact process that our clients have been using to crack 24,000 right inside a month, 20,000 inside a month, 19,500 a month, 30,000 a month, right? That's what I use for 42K a month, right? This is the exact system. It's a very well thought out system. So follow-ups, right? These are a couple of follow-up messages that we send. Okay, in the beginning you start light, right? You just send still with me, are you there, right? You can send an emoji. It doesn't really matter which one you're using. You're just basically making the prospect aware that you like you haven't got a response, right? Because it's a completely normal thing. If you text someone, it's very socially calibrated to ask, hey man, like, did you see my message? Okay, you're not being pushy, right? Have you received my previous message? Now this is where the juice is coming, right? Hey, we recently have one of our clients lose 35 pounds in 60 days. Here is the video about it, right? When you start following up with content assets and you just send content assets and you follow up with value, so people will become more and more a part of your world, right? That maybe they don't click the first follow-up content asset. Maybe they don't click the second follow-up content asset, right? But once they click, they're going to watch the content asset, and if it's good enough, they will watch it. They will definitely get back to you, and probably you will even pre-sell them. As long as you offer enough evidence, and as long as you offer enough value in the front-end market and deliver to your clients on the back end, right? As long as you do that and you send the right content assets and that content asset shows that, people are going to sell. I always say every single content piece that you have should be like your absolute best sales call, right? You should sell in the marketing and not on the sales calls. Now, obviously, there is also an art to that, right? You should also have that dialed in. But the number one method of doing things is offering value and selling in the marketing, which you shouldn't just let people, wait until they see your content. You should do that in the follow-up. Okay, you can even send the content as a first message, but first messages, generally speaking, are only for getting the foot in the door. Okay, so the follow-up system, right? Now you send a content asset. Then you can ask about the content asset, right? Hey, did you watch the video? Let me know when you watch the video. What do you think of the video, right? Then you send another. Hey, here's another one, right? You just bless them with so much value that people will just have to reply, because they can watch that video without replying. But once they watch it, they will have to reply, because the video is going to be too good if you have the right content assets, okay? But you need to utilize this. People just create content, but they don't use it in their marketing. They don't use it in their DM frameworks, and then they don't pre-sell people, okay? So these are just a couple of messages, right? Obviously, after booking a call, right, you need to make sure that people don't flake. This is also going to reduce your flaking rate by basically 100%, right? We have, quite frankly, a 90% show up rate, quite literally, because we do this. If you're an online fitness coach, you had this so many times when people book a call and they don't show up. If you do this process, right, people are going to show up. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Okay, so generally speaking, right, 80% of your calls are going to come from this process. You send 100 messages a day, right? Or your setter sends 100 messages a day, which they should send way more, right? Our setters are able to do 500 to 1,000 outreaches, right? If we implement them for you. But let's say you do it on your own. You send 100 messages, you send at least 100 follow-ups, right? 10 different types of follow-ups, right? With different value nuggets, 80% of your calls, okay? No, nothing else is needed, right? Because especially the people who already texted back to you, those are your most qualified audience. Okay, you should only message qualified people anyways. But if someone messages back, right, that's the biggest sign of interest. That's the biggest indicator of interest, right? So you follow up, right? Obviously, you need to follow up with every single person, right? Never leave the lead, okay? So never leave the lead, never leave anyone, right? If they block you, right, then okay, it didn't work, but they might not block you and then it worked, or you stop trying, then it definitely not going to work. Okay, like, don't be shy. Okay, you're not harassing people, right? If you're harassing someone, then the person is going to tell you flat, right? Or the person is going to block you. So it's just, you shouldn't do that. Okay, always keep trying. As a business owner, you have a responsibility to have people make good decisions as long as your product is good, right? So you should market and try to sell ruthlessly. Okay, this is why we are able to sell so many people, because we are doing this ruthlessly. We are just offering value in an aggressive way, so people don't have any other choice but to buy, right? So you should follow up with you for the openers at least after 24 hours, right? You should follow up as a first follow-up, right? Not for the opener, right? Are you there? Hey, name. Second follow-up should be always what happened, right? Still with me if they answered, right? Because you're just not sure why they didn't follow up. 12 to 24 hours, right? You should follow up frequently. This is very important. You should always follow up frequently. Okay, third follow-up, just send them a funny gift, just to cheer them up. Fourth follow-up is when the real value starts. Okay, you send the value. Okay, so then you have that different follow-ups for the content assets. Okay, 1, 2, 3, you can follow up on the content asset multiple times and then send another content asset. Quite literally, you never let a prospect go. This is why we are having so many calls, because we train our fit growth specialists and also for our clients to do this follow-up system. And once someone replies, don't let them go until they book a call, until they've seen enough value that they are pre-sold, right? So you follow up on the content assets as well. You follow up on the calendar link, right? If you send the calendar link, this is how you do that. And obviously after the call booked, right, you send the content asset, you ask if they watch the content asset. So you should leverage the content asset non-stop. This is how you follow up. Okay, use this entire system to your advantage. I can send this document over to you, right? Right now, just follow me on Instagram and message me. You can start utilizing this today, so you have way less flakes. You will have way more calls booked, 3 to 5 calls every single day. This is the only way that is possible, right? People just think that I magically have calls. Okay, no, I don't magically have calls. I don't just have people book in, right? Obviously, I have a very, very thought out outbound process, a very, very thought out advertising campaign. But obviously, everything happens in the DMs, right? Everything happens between the customer and an appointment setter inside their online coaching business, right? Like even the biggest guys do this. The biggest guys have appointment setters. The biggest guys talk with people in the DMs before they bring them on a call if someone doesn't book straight out of a link, right? So this is the process. You can't go around this process. If you're not offering value ruthlessly, you're never going to hit 10, 20, 30, 50K a month, right? You're never going to get ahead. If you will always be shy to ruthlessly market and sell your product, right, without apology, pushing with value, doing everything that you can to help your prospects, right, not letting them go, you're never going to get ahead. So make sure that you message me, okay? I can send this over to you, the entire funnel of follow-ups, right? Because this is basically a funnel. But obviously, if you don't know how to do that, or your setter doesn't know how to do that, and it would be too much effort to train them, right? Or you're not confident enough that you can do this yourself, right? Book a call with us and we're going to do it for you. In our program, our fit growth specialists are extremely well trained on this process. Okay, so quite literally, my current setter that is working for the company, right? He's literally working 14 hours a day, every single day, doing this ruthlessly. Every day I'm getting call notifications. And 99% of the cases, these are people that he has started talking with like a couple of weeks ago, right? But the follow-up system works. And if someone jumps on with a proper follow-up system, they already pre-sold, they already watched the number of your content assets, they know what you're about. They jumped on a call because of the content asset and because it didn't let them go. This is how you amp up the closing rate, okay? Also as booking rate. So, yep, book a call with us. You're going to go through how we are going to exactly implement this entire process into your company. And, yep, see you in the next video.